All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Adaptive Esports Tournament. Of course, we just saw our upper bracket final where the Uncontrollables remain undefeated, not just in series, but in games in this season of AET, and Disability getting knocked down into that lower bracket means they'll have to battle against Juicy Ride yet again for their rematch against the Uncontrollables.
And so far, it's all going according to the script.
Right.
The summer kickoff script, the exact same top three, but will it be the same final? Juicy Ride wants to rewrite that chapter. They've gone through that lower bracket. It's been a rough ride, but will it be a winning ride going to the grand final? Disability, how can they keep that composure? Because they started off strong, and then the 7-0 at the end makes me think, can they bounce back? Can they reset themselves both mentally, physically in the game to go back to what they're known for?
Yeah, we saw them start to lose a little bit of steam at the end there in that final game against the Uncontrollables, but can't really blame them with how hard that battle was throughout that entire series. But like you mentioned, the question now is how quickly can they bounce back and face another opponent that they faced earlier in the bracket with Juicy Ride. Juicy Ride was able to take one game off of them earlier, but we'll have to see how that shakes out. I think Disability still looking pretty strong here today. And like we should mention again, only two teams, our final two teams essentially, will be moving on towards pool play. And that means they'll be kind of removed from this open bracket side of the tournament. So if you're a team that keeps going up against Uncontrollables and you're like, this sucks, well, next week you won't have to worry about that, is kind of the good thing about the way this format works here in this season of AET.
Yeah, and especially not only top two in pool play, you're guaranteed money, and we're looking for that second team that will join them in this very next match, and it's a rematch of that semifinal. I hope you guys got to take a look at that on the bracket. 3-1 for Disability against Juicy Ride. Will it be any different?
Yeah, we'll have to see. And then, of course, you know, as these continue, we, of course, see our rotating logos here on the screen. And we want to give a big shout out, of course, to all of these partners, both Able Gamers, Mount Sinai, Adaptive Action Sports, all kind of came together with Logitech G to make the Adaptive Esports Tournaments possible. So if you'd like to support our partners or find out more info, because all of these across the board have really great resources that are available, make sure you head on over to aet.gg for more info. And maybe this is your first time tuning in and you're interested in joining our Adaptive Esports Tournaments. That's also the place where you can find out that information. And final little note is maybe you're not into tournaments. Well, we also host community game nights. So if any of that interests you, be sure to head on over to aet.gg to find that out. Now, let's talk a little bit about this match coming up. Of course, Solitude and Disbel, the previous season champions. And one of the things that's impressed me most is Solitude's kind of level up from earlier on in the previous season to what we're seeing out of him now. I think if I was going to put kind of a player to watch in this season of Adaptive Esports Tournaments, it would be Solitude, definitely for most improved. And for that reason, I don't really know how good he's going to get, because if you would have seen like the first matches he played in Adaptive Esports Tournaments of last season, it was very, I don't know what, not as dynamic as we're seeing the gameplay out of him right now. It was very much, okay, Disability is, you know, the front man of Disability is Disbel. He's going to be the one attacking the net, and Solitude is, you know, playing defense, the backup, the backbone and the backup. But now we're seeing Solitude get so much more involved on offense. We saw in our summer kickoff clutch OT goals as well as clutch final second saves. So for me, he's really the player to watch. I know Ashley's probably the most fun to watch. Disbel, another most fun to watch. But Solitude is definitely my player to watch because he's been improving so quickly tournament after tournament. I really don't know how good, like, we don't know where the ceiling is for him yet because of how much he's he's improved. So I think that's one of the exciting things to me when watching Disability, not just with how good they are, but with how much they've been improving still after being the previous season champions.
And what I like about the two different teams that we saw in our last series, Uncontrollables and Disability, it feels like Uncontrollables are just two individual stars who pull off a lot of those solo mechanics that don't really need follow-up unless that initial shot was not placed correctly. There's someone to clean it up. But Disabilities, their power levels come from how they play off of each other because they've been playing together for so long. And that you started to see those cracks in the synergy in the last series of team bumps. And if you have two people locked up, even for those 2 seconds, that's the ball to the other side and setup that they can do. And I think Disability realized that. To not have those team bumps, that must be frustrating. And how do you keep that composure? And I don't think that's going to be happening again. It's very uncharacteristic of Disability to have that kind of stuff happen, because in that summer kickoff, they were guns blazing.
Yeah, and I do think maybe some of that too is they're trying to push their limits to compete with Uncontrollables, and it kind of, they got some wires crossed where they're like, oh wait, I thought we were going for this. We were trying something new here, but yeah, I think it's interesting, kind of the difference in dynamic where Disability definitely going for the teamwork, the passing plays, and sometimes those wires get crossed, and sometimes it feels like for Uncontrollables, it's not so much a pass as it was just a missed shot that ended up in the hands of the other player. And Disability, I like their creativity off of the kickoff. They're one of the few teams we see just cheat up and go try something off a kickoff. And I think Uncontrollables started reading that. They had that second player sitting in the net. But what I want to look forward to is Juicy Ride. We have our next match almost ready to go, our lower bracket final to determine who is that second team going to pool play. And this is kind of the team that we haven't talked about a lot because they weren't 1 or 2, but they were number 3. So as much as Disability is probably looking for revenge, so is Juicy Ride. And that might lead to another interesting match between these two because, they're kind of the unsung third-place team that didn't get all the media coverage on the desk here. So we'll have to see if they're going to make a statement here in this lower bracket final, best of 5.
I like that the lore of this name of Juicy Ride is very apparent. You got a guy named the Juice Box, and the other person Ride something. So combination of that. We've had a lot of great names, and that's a great shot by Dismal with the flip reset. Nobody from Juicy Ride could stop that.
Yeah, love that. Dismal coming out hot here early in our first game. And I think that's a great sign, right? They've pretty much bounced back from that first match, or their last match against the Uncontrollables, and are ready to get into this one. So they take the lead early. So here's Juice Box and Just Ride all committing towards that kickoff, but the ball is going to end up in possession of Dismal, and he's just going to carry it by both defenders to go up 2-0.
He's making this look like trading. The way he's getting a flip reset off of the ceiling to now having both defenders dangling and breaking their ankles. Disability looked like they were having a tough time against Uncontrollables, and now they're completely controlling this. They've bounced back in the biggest of ways. In only the first 30 seconds, they've have 2 goals and almost going for a third. That's a long clear, maybe an open net, but Solitude has enough boost to barely get back.
What a save out of Solitude there, treating that post as a friend to guarantee that one misses the net. Here's Dismal trying to get a big clear downfield to be able to sneak that corner boost away. Pop this one up. Solitude playing this one patient at midfield. You see Dismal be rotating back, looking for a shot, and it's an open net. It's going to be a quick 3-0 lead now in game number 1 for Disability.
Disability are the ones that are bullies now. You see Solitude is chasing for a bump. Juicy Ride have to try and avoid it, and that leaves a big opening for Disability to take the shot. The way that Disability have turned up is great to see. 3-0, Just Ride. Can't be pushovers. It was a long-fought battle in the lower bracket. This is a team you faced before. You know what they cook up, and it's an open net again. Dismal with a hat trick.
Yeah, that's a really tough break. I believe Just Ride and the Juice Box were going for a double tap off the backboard there, but slightly misangled the retouch. And the ball dropped right into the hands of Disability with an open net, so it's a 4-0 lead now as Juicy Ride looks to regain some of their footing here in this matchup. Juicebox going to be playing this one slightly patient, doesn't want to commit as Disbel is that threat on offense. Looks to go for the flip, but it's dropped down right into the hands of Solitude, who's going to make this a 5-0 in favor of Disability.
You might as well write Disability on the ball because they've just been owning it. This entire time, the possession game is favoring Disability. Off a kickoff, off of every offense, the clears from Juicy Ride are being kept at bay because of that midfield presence from Disability too. And that's what you love to see just after a huge loss, that you're able to come back and be close to that Mercy Rule 7 goals. We have 3 minutes and it's 5-0.
Yeah, Disability's really been applying a lot of this pressure. A beautiful shot yet again from Disbel. Just 1 goal away now from taking this one with a 7-0 victory. You see a great touch, and Juicy Ride might just not have been expecting that intensity from Disability coming fresh off of their match against the Uncontrollables. I mean, despite that tough loss in their final game, Disability has bounced right back and is now giving Juicy Ride a taste of that Uncontrollables medicine. So we have Solitude back on defense. Going to be bumping Just Ride, who's trying to chase this one down in the orange corner. Does manage to get possession. Solitude going to be flying by, but it's Disbel with a nice touch and clear. Solitude ends up in the perfect position, but it's Disbel passing to himself. Juicebox finally getting back on that rotation, able to clear this one away, and there you have it. Juicy Ride going to get on the board.
The counterattacks from Juicy Ride were just starting to brew. I mean, in this last one is off of the Disability bumps that stifled that first counterattack. Juicy Ride won their defense, counterattacked again, and because of the bump attempts of Disability, didn't hit really accomplish the goal they were going for, which was to mix up the possession of Juicy Ride. Disability's defense had gaps, and Juicy Ride capitalized on that, and that's off the cross. Juicy Ride also had Just Ride too far forward to find the rebound, which could have been a second goal and a momentum push for Juicy Ride.
Yeah, just a tiny bit of a mispositioning by Juicy Ride on that shot attempt. You know, turns it into what could have been a 6-2 kind of big momentum swing in their favor into potentially a final shot. But here, Juicebox is able to regain possession. Solitude is up with that save, able to clear this one to the sidewall, and it's an open net unless Juicebox can rotate back, and it does just that. Now this one's being sent back to the orange side of the pitch. Disbel going to send this one to the corner. See if they can get something going, but it's Just Ride with that demo onto Disbel, leaves Solitude all by himself to try to make this play happen. Just a minute 30 left on the clock. Disability still looking for this final goal.
And Solitude just winning that 50 in the midfield when his teammate was demoed was enough time bought. And you see Juicy Ride going for those bump attempts too, and just needing the shots to be placed more on target. And I think the goals are going to start to ramp up, and this is going to look like a closer game. Disbel bumping into Just Ride, but bullying his way through to the net. 7-1.
Yep, Disbel able to walk this final one in. As you see, patience is a virtue as Just Ride tries to make the defensive play but can't do so. So it's going to be a 7-1 Disability victory in our first game of our lower final. And yeah, I think Solitude and Disbel bouncing back, trying to speed run their way to the rematch against Uncontrollables, it feels like.
Disbel, 6 goals, not only 1 hat trick, but 2. He was running that field in the first half. It was 30 seconds. They had 2 goals. I had to sit back and just have my jaw drop to the floor. Like the way that they just accumulated all this energy and this frustration and channeled it into better play because they want that rematch against Uncontrollable so bad. But Juicy Ride, they started to learn a thing or two. They halted that momentum from Disability in that second half. I think it was just the shot placement, the accuracy from Juicy Ride that I think will be improved on in game 2, which will make the scoreline a lot closer.
Yeah, I think, you know, maybe Juicy Ride just kind of got caught off some of that, like you mentioned, not necessarily like frustration or anger, but the motivation after that previous loss from the Uncontrollables, that they wanted to you know, just kind of came into this match really focused and really motivated to take that victory. But like you mentioned at the very end, Juicy Ride was able to make some great adjustments. Here we see Disbel yet again trying to get it by one defender. Juicebox makes a great defensive play there. Just Ride has Juicebox downfield just a bit, trying to get the pass off to him, but doesn't really have the speed to do so. So Disbel going to be able to intercept that one and convert it into a nice goal.
So Disability were playing aggressive, and Juicy Ride felt they needed to go for bumps. That's the Juice Box, which right before this possession went for a bump, then conceded the ball to Disability, but there was no one in the net to stop the shot. So Juicy Ride got to communicate. If they go for bumps on players, they go for demos, someone has to be in the net to stop the shot. Or the bump, the challenge, has to actually shake up possession. Disability on the board first, but Juicy Ride, they're trying to bring that aggression right back to Disability.
Yeah, and it's looking good so far. They've at least slowed them down somewhat, making them take better shots, have better shot selection. There's a little bit of a defensive play there. Oh, that one with an insane angle. He's just going to be able to sneak its way into the net. Look at the pinch here from Disbel. Wraps it all the way around the corner and in. So a bit of a magic trick type shot coming out of Disbel there is going to get them a 2-0 lead.
Bit of a cookster. I'm learning all the terms that Rocket League comes up with. 2-0 for Disability. Like we said, the mechanics, the talent in this league is insane. Disability, you're looking at the champions of last season putting on a show. 1 minute gone by, 2 goals, Solitude, midfield, shot right in the lap of Juicy Ride. Here's the counterattack. They found punishes on Disability before, but Disability being very smart, protecting that back wall. They double committed though, the ball is to Just Ride. Disbel challenging, Solitude looking for the clear. Disbel will help him out. Just Ride, Juicy Ride, sorry, have to race all the way back to stop this.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on those rotations, really just Disability finding so many more openings, really doing a great job of breaking down that defense despite how solid it has been. Now here's Disbel going up for this one, able to get it in, bounces it right over Solitude. A fantastic goal yet again from Disbel.
And Solitude has been setting up Disbel more and more, sometimes bumps, and this time a demo. And the red carpet is laid right in front of the net like that. The way that Disability can full commit to offenses, and Juicy Ride should take a page out of Uncontrollable's book of when Disability full send like this, they don't have anybody on the defense. Juicy Ride just need that clear, that counterattack that catches Disability off guard. But you gotta take the ball from them first. Great dribble by Disbel, but no cigar.
Yeah, great carry there from Disbel, but another great interception from Juicy Ride, and that crossbar, their worst enemy at this point in time, just needed to be slightly lower. That one would have found the net, but Solitude is able to capitalize on that overcommit on offense, take it coast to coast with the pass from Disbel.
Just Ride just was a bit late on that pre-jump to try and pop up the ball and really slow down the play and give Juicy Ride a chance to rotate back. And just when Juicy Ride think they can counterattack, they lose the ball so easily to Disability, who are such a fast team. Solitude to the skies, to the back wall, and you're not seeing team bumps anymore from Disability. They've talked to each other, they've made quick improvements. They wanted that 5th goal, second half. Mercy Rule still almost available as they got away with that in game 1.
Yeah, just trying to watch Juicy Ride here, see what adjustments they're trying to make, and to me it's really just about transitioning quicker into offense, and you can't blame them as Disability has a nice 4-0 lead. So obviously they're really focused on defending that net, but I think if once Juicy Ride gets that stop on defense, they're able to transition into their offensive game plan just a little bit quicker, be in a better position to battle against Disability here, force Disability to respect that net a little bit, respect that offensive pressure. They'll be able to work their way back into this one.
Yeah, Juice Box couldn't backflip the ball into the net. That was a tough angle to cut. I don't blame Juicy Ride. You gotta be real creative to try and break down Disability's defense. Just Ride, defending, save, trying to move down the field. Demoed, or actually Just Ride is the one that demoed. 2-on-1 for Juicy Ride, but not having ball possession. Just not communicating who should be chasing this ball. As the midfield now is battle between both teams. Just Ride wanting to connect with Juice Box in the midfield at the shot, but not on target.
Here we see an attempt at a follow-up from Just Ride. Unfortunately, Dismal going to be able to carry this one to the sidewall. Solitude is there to keep this offense going. Dismal going to pop this one up. Solitude with the beautiful touch, the finger roll into the net as Disability goes up 5-0.
Just the way that Dismal set him up too. Solitude having to roll his card just to center out this ball. And Juicy Ride, I see the attempts that they're trying to intercept these passes from Disability, but it's having a lot of height to them. Juicy Ride got to have the boost to be able to climb up to the points that Disability are connecting at. And Juicy Ride just a step behind, but so close to disrupting what Disability are cooking. Now 40 seconds left. Disability fighting here in the midfield. Disbol trying to cross to the right side, pitches it off the wall all the way back into the back of the net. Another one.
What another great pinch out of Disbol. Able to hit this one from midfield, send it to the opposite corner. Make it 6-0 yet again. Disability just needing one goal to close out this second game of the lower final. We'll have to see if this is the play here. Dismal does have the touch. Solitude have the follow-up. He does. Dismal gonna get another one on the board, make it 7-0. And Disability will be on match point here in the lower final.
Woo. It's becoming more and more one-sided, but we can at least talk about the good things of Disability, the way they improved their defense, because you found a lot of gaps against Uncontrollables, who are a team that exploit those windows of opportunity. But Disability have cleaned up those rotations. They don't have as many open nets. The only open net they did give up was in game 1, and it was still 7-1. Disability's offense is relentless, and maybe just a step down from Uncontrollables, but the way that Disability have improved from kickoff to now, they're just in the shadow of Uncontrollables, and you can tell by how aggressive they're playing. They want that rematch.
And I almost want to see the way the game looked when these two teams played previously, and it was 3-1, because I'm sure Disability probably didn't even look the same. I feel like almost Juicy Ride is playing in a way that feels like blindsided or unexpected with the way Disability is playing. And I think you're right. Those are probably adjustments that they made while playing Uncontrollables that has really just leveled up their gameplay. And Juicy Ride's probably saying, this isn't the team we played earlier. They're smacking us right now. We need to change something because our game plan going in isn't the game plan we need anymore.
And worst case scenario, if Juicy Ride can't reverse sweep, you're saying goodbye to Disability and Uncontrollables in the next qualifier, and then Juicy Ride surely go to the finals and get that pool play spot. So that's what I love about this format. It's not just going to be the same final every qualifier. But Juicy Ride, I've seen crazier things, and I see them trying to push forward, but these missed touches is giving possession back to Disability.
Yeah, you can kind of see those adjustments they're trying to make, trying to keep those possessions with more of that aerial play. Dismal, unfortunately, going to be able to find the net there on that play because Juicy Ride was putting in that best effort. You see, Just Ride realizes that Dismal is there and is that offensive threat, so he tries to get down to play a little bit of defense where he was trying to get that clear originally. It's going to allow Disability to get on the board first yet again. It's Juicebox, the nice 50 off that kickoff. Looking into this corner, does have some boost available, is able to center that one up, but Dismal going to be able to sneak that one away.
That's the most threatening shot we've seen from Juicy Ride, and I like that the accuracy is getting improved, but Disability's fakes are so disgusting. That's how they're able to score. You caught Juicy Ride flipping, and what a save again from Disability. And Juicy Ride are in so deep that they can't find the rebound or are not in the position to go for that second shot. They fall back for boost. Here's a counterattack from Disability. Good protection from Juicebox off that back wall. Good control of the ball, too, for the counterattack, but rotations so solid from Disability.
Yeah, and Juicy Ride, just kind of tough breaks. You saw the beautiful pass towards the middle, setting up Just Ride, but it was a great save from Disability. Then you follow that again with another shot attempt that Solitude was able to rotate back and knock away, and then unfortunately, There's a little bit of a slow rotation back on the defense here is going to leave that net open for Solitude to get a second goal on the board.
2-0 for Disability, but took them a lot more time.
Yeah.
It went from 30 seconds in game 1, 1 minute in game 2, 90 seconds in game 3. It's not Disability slowing down, it's Juicy Ride finding better, getting better saves, having their own offenses that are kicking up and looking more and more threatening. But Disability had to go for these miracle saves just to keep this at a 2-0 mark. And there's Disbel able to save. Solitude scoops it up. Somebody help Juicebox.
I mean, you could not get any closer if you were Juicy Ride to scoring a goal right now. And it's almost heartbreaking at this point how well they've been making those adjustments to get those shot opportunities. It's just Disability making incredible defensive plays. So Juicy Ride just needs to keep this up, and I think they have the potential to make this one close, maybe even tie it up at 2s. Just need to keep Disability's offense slowed down like they have been.
Good slowdown by Disbel as the counterattack of Juicebox, or Juicy Ride, was happening, and Disbel takes it to the skies. He soars to the back of the net. 3-0 for Disability.
Yeah, and you know, that's all right. I think if you're Juicy Ride, that one's fine. You made a great offensive play. You've been focusing on keeping possession a little bit longer, holding on to those ones. Maybe a slight overcommit, or maybe just needing to rotate back on defense slightly faster is really the only adjustment they would need to make on that play there. So the 3-0 lead, and like you mentioned, they've been slowly slowing down Disability, but just haven't been able to get those offensive conversions just yet. Nice little stuff from the Juice Box, going to deny that goal, and they're going to send it down range. Just Ride going to get Juicy Ride on the board.
Fantastic shot from Just Ride. And Disbel's always been in his shadow in the midfield, harassing him, and he knows he has to take the early shot before Disbel bumps him off the play. So good reaction, good adaptation from Juicy Ride. Now only down by 2, but Disability, they win the kickoff, they got possession. Solitude taking the corner boost. If you take their resources, Juicy Ride, or if you demo them, well, they can't play the game either.
Yeah, and I love that. Juicy Ride was in a great position, had won that 50, had sent the ball into the orange side of the pitch, but the demo slows down their offense.
They're just having a bit of a dance. I've never seen that before. You gotta have a Rocket League term for that one. Synchronized swimming.
The two-step.
The two-step. 3-1. Disbel with the demo and shot from Juicebox. What a save by Disbel!
Man, Disbel with such an amazing save, but Juicy Ride really clearly stepping up that offensive pressure, making Disability respect them as an offensive threat. It's exactly what they needed to do, but now the question is it too little too late? Disbel going to throw a heater at the net, but Juicebox is there for the save.
Juicebox almost went for a pass, at least on the right side. Juicy Ride gotta attack this ball, and Juicebox just waited for his moment. The 50 right in front of the net. Just Ride just a centimeter off. Juicebox with the flick above. 3-2, Juicy Ride coming back.
It was only a matter of time with the way Juicy Ride was playing, and finally it's paid off for them as Juicebox is able to float that one over Disbel and bring our score line within 1. 3-2, Disability leads with under a minute left to play. Have to see how this game 3 plays out. Juicebox has possession, tries to get the pinch down, but Disbel is going to be there for the save on net. Juicebox continues to fight in front of the orange side of the field. Just Ride now, trying to get involved from that midfield line. Juicebox has the rotation now. Shot was put on net. Disbel, though, has possession. Able to sneak it by Just Ride. But Juicebox has the touch to keep this one on the orange side. It's a net. It's a possibility, but Disbel is there to deny it.
What a great setup, too. And you had the other player going for bumps in the net. Just either missed or Disability were able to get back on their feet. And Juicebox barely missing that touch to stuff it in the net for the equalizer. Juicy Ride tripping over their shoelaces at the finish line, but it's in the orange end. It's still possible. Juicebox steps up, takes a shot at the 0-second mark.
Juicebox is going to tie us up at 3s, and we'll have our first overtime of the day with that goal. Juicy Ride tying it up.
Wow, 3 unanswered goals too from Juicy Ride. Disability. Is this how you gave up the one game in semifinals? that we thought the ride was so smooth that you let go of the steering wheel. You can't be doing that in OT. Juicebox will be demoing Solitude. That defense seems to be okay, though, despite that missing player. Disbol moving down the field, dodging that challenge, and not letting these clears go through. Solitude, it was an awkward bounce to try and center it out, and Disbol finds the back of the net. Disability return to the grand final.
Man, what a beautiful team play by Disability in that overtime. You saw Disbol able to get that one by a few defenders. Tries to take it solo, but realizes it's going to be a little bit high. Sets it off the backboard, and Solitude is there to clean all of it up and set up Disbol for the game and set winning goal. Disability going to take this one 4-3. And again, I feel like it's a repeat of that first series we saw where there was all these improvements being made, and at the end it was so close, but it was just not enough at the very end for Juicy Ride to kind of get one game on the board and try to set up that reverse sweep.
Yeah, I mean, Disability thought it was a smooth ride, then it got bumpy, and then once you feel the bumps, you woke up, you grabbed the steering wheel, and you got to the finish line. I was worried because it was 3 unanswered goals. They had this 3-0 lead that got shrunk. We go to OT. Incredible effort by Juicy Ride, who won't be making pool play this time around, but the fact that they keep returning in this top 3 situation, we know they're capable of making pool play. Won't be this qualifier, but I'm most certain it'll be the next one.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, you know, they're just in that same realm of you know, Disability, where they continue to not only just improve from one event to the next, but within the series themselves, we're seeing them make those improvements and those adjustments that they need to. So everyone just, you know, we were impressed with the kickoff on how good everyone was, and now they continue to get better. So it's going to be an exciting season for sure, but that is going to be the end of the Juicy Ride here for Just Ride and the Juice Box. So we're going to throw it to a brief commercial break, and we'll be back with the rematch of the Uncontrollables and Disability. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Legend behavior, legend behavior, locked in. Y'all know what time it is. Locked in. Play. I make the rules, rack up the jewels, make it look smooth. You know how I do. Running this kingdom, wish you could be. Better look up, cause that's where you see me. Give me the crown now. Cause I own the throne now. I hold the scroll now. I'm in control now. Ruling the game. I'm ruling the game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the grand finals of qualifier number 1 of the Adaptive Esports Tournament. This is very newscaster of you, like doing the papers. I liked it.
I felt very official and
yeah,
smart
it's
doing
like
this.
it was like let's get into it, and I agree. I agree.
Get to business.
I'm excited for the rematch that we have here, not only of the summer kickoff, but of today's earlier match, and that of course is going to be between the Uncontrollables and Disability. Now, they've had kind of a little bit of a battle here through the bracket, so let's take a look at that real quick, again, to kind of set the stage for this grand finals match. So, of course, you see the Uncontrollables were our first seed after winning the summer kickoff, and they have gone 3-0 through the entire bracket all the way to the grand finals. Disability, a little bit more of a challenging path here, as Juicy Ride was able to take a game off of them earlier on, and then of course they did get knocked into the lower bracket by the Uncontrollables in a 3-0 fashion, but they've bounced back against Juicy Ride, not only 3-0ing them, but also looking pretty solid in the process. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams duke it out yet again, because we really started to see Disability pick up steam against the Uncontrollables in those first couple of matches before they kind of just sort of hit a wall and appeared to get maybe a little frustrated with the fact that they weren't seeing the success that they, you know, almost deserved in a way with the way they were playing.
Yeah, it was very uncharacteristic the way Disability just started the series against the Uncontrollables. You know, the team bumps, these open nets that Uncontrollables will punish you for every single time. But the way that Disability bounced back against Juicy Ride, they were putting on a show. They were on fire, especially Disbo, who had like 2 hat tricks in game 1. They had 2 7-goal Mercy wins. Yeah. So Disability are ready, and they're ready to play.
Yeah, they are ready to play, and some of you at home, maybe, I know it's around lunch if you're on the West Coast, some of you may be ready to eat. So, of course, we want to thank our partner, Chipotle, who is giving all of our viewers an opportunity to win a free entree. To do so, all you need to do is text TEC 326 to 888-222. And if you do that, then of course you'll have a chance to win a free entree from Chipotle. We want to keep all of our viewers of the Adaptive Esports Tournaments fed here. So all you need to do, yet again, is text that code TEC326 to 888-222. And then, of course, we have another giveaway of the Logitech G gear. And for this one, write this down, aet.gg/giveaway to enter to win this Logitech G prize bundle. So plenty of opportunities here to win some awesome prizes and entrees from, of course, our fantastic partners. Now, there's one other small thing to cover and kind of update you guys on with regards to the way kind of our pool play round robin system works. So this match between the Uncontrollables and Disability guarantees their entry into that $25,000 season finals, and this match will also count towards their record for seeding in that season final. So this match is going to go on their permanent record when they go into pool play, and whoever wins will have a slight advantage then in those matchups as teams continue to get added to those pools. So while there's no prize money necessarily on the line here today, there is a pretty significant match that could affect their seeding going into that $25,000 final where prize money is guaranteed.
I'm excited for this final because I ended up texting because I was like, I wanted to show proof.
how to do it.
I got a burrito. I wasn't expecting to win. So let's get this final underway.
They do go fast. So yeah, if you don't think you're hungry yet, if you think you'll be hungry by the end of this grand final, make sure you enter that code in with that entree from Chipotle. Again, thank you to all of those sponsors. But man, I'm excited to get into this matchup too. So of course it is going to be the Uncontrollables going up against Disability. They must have gotten a free entree too because they were ready to play and they're itching to put their order in. But here we go. Kickoff is about to happen. Game 1 of the grand finals is underway.
Oh boy, last time it was 3-0, but it was close, and Ashley and Fitz working together. The first goal goes through, and that's a 1-0 lead. Like we said with Uncontrollables, individually they are stars, but they're starting to align and finish off each other's shots like that.
Yeah, finishing each other's sentences, finishing each other's shots, doing everything they need to do right now in the opening seconds of our grand final. Now it's going to be on Disability to adjust and find some opportunities to attack on offense. There's the 1v1 Disbel versus Ashley, trying to get that one past the defender. Fitz is going to have the bicycle kick over, and it's on net, but Disbel able to hustle back and get the save.
I like that Disbel is trying to go for fakes and breaking people's ankles just like he did against Juicy Ride. He's playing with a lot more confidence, but Ashley has the ball, so you gotta worry a little bit. It was only a small stop by Solitude. The ball gets away, and Fitz, again, the janitor on duty to clean it up.
Yeah, Solitude with a nice initial kind of save there, but you saw how he got bumped away by Ashley. Just a great play to kind of ensure that Solitude wasn't able to recover and get that clear. That'll allow Uncontrollables to go up 2-0. Looking very motivated here against Disability, making some adjustments themselves, and here comes Ashley with the aerial play. Off the backboard is gonna miss that one, and that might give an opportunity to Disbel. He's able to get this one under control, perhaps set up Solitude with the shot, but that shot will be blocked by Ashley. He'll regain possession here. Solitude does a great job with that side swipe to knock it into the corner. Disbel takes this one away, but Fitz is going to get the demo to slow down Disability.
And we haven't seen Uncontrollables need to go for that demo, but look how it took the ball from Disability and Ashley soars from one side of the field to the other, full boost, amazing dribble, dodging the challenge, and makes it all done by themselves.
Yeah. The Uncontrollables looking very solid here in these opening moments. Our first game of the grand final, of course, with that 3-0 lead. Disability might just be getting a little fatigued there out on the pitch. Going to have to dig deep, really start to battle back against the Uncontrollables if they want to make this one close. Fitz is up for it in the corner. Going to bounce this one down, but wants to conserve some of that boost in the tank. And allow Ashley to take this play. Tries to get it by one defender, but has the double bump available to make it 4-0.
Ashley gets the flip reset. I mean, it's an open net, but the double tap, insult to injury, just like Uncontrollables did in the last series against Disability. They force these mistakes, these defensive mistakes out of Disability, and punish them for it every single time. Winning challenges, winning 50s. Here's Disbel cooking up something, trying to fake out Uncontrollables, but they're just too smart.
Yeah, Disbel tries to make a play there, but of course they've got all areas of that net covered. Here comes Ashley. Disbel, though, getting aggressive. Love to see the speed coming out of him, but Fitz is going to answer back with a demo onto Solitude. It's going to force Disbel to rotate back, try to win a 50 at the midfield line. Now Solitude has spawned back in, so he's able to help Disbel out on defense. But the assault from the Uncontrollables continues to come. Can the orange team get this one out of their side of the field?
Ooh.
No, Solitude with a tough little touch, and Ashley's going to capitalize on that one. Send it right at the net to put the Uncontrollables up 5-0.
Yeah, Disability, maybe somebody ran out of boost, but lost control of the ball, and both Disability members were there, and then Uncontrollables took advantage of that missed opportunity and missed possession of the ball to strike at such a distance. To be able to put that shot on target is difficult. Reset for Fitz, wanting to center this ball out. Good defense from Solitude. Ashley wins the corner challenge, and the 50 bumps Solitude out of the way. Disbel has his back. Fitz playing this patient, going for boost, slowing down the play. 5-0 for Uncontrollables as the offense is kicking again, and Disbel gets almost dunked on, and he comes back to salvage.
Yeah, nice rotation from Disbel there. Able to clean that one up, save them from the 6-0 for the time being, but there's Fitz able to get the juke. A hat trick for him in game number 1 as the Uncontrollables now sit on game point. Just needing 7 to close this one out.
Ooh, was not expecting like the clear dominance from Uncontrollables. You know, a bit iced out having to wait for this match, although the last match was very fast. Disability, you thought they came off of this momentum win and putting up good saves, but also showing the characteristics of that last series. And what a pass and what a shot. 7-0 for game one.
Yeah, game one going to end in 7-0 fashion. A big difference from what we saw in the first series between these two on the day. And to me, it really comes down to a very small adjustment that the Uncontrollables kind of seem to make against Disability, and that's when the Uncontrollables offense was slowed down or Disability gets that save, and that transition was happening from the Uncontrollables possession to Disability's possession. Rather than rotate all the way back to their net and try to set up defense there, I think they started contesting Disability at midfield way more, and that really kind of threw a big wrench in Disability's plans and how they approached the game in that earlier series versus now.
Yeah, Uncontrollables, they're good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Because in the last series, definitely that game one was super close. Disability kind of kept it within 1 or 2 goal territory. Then they got away from them. They started thinking about game two.
Yeah.
And then Uncontrollables leveled up. And you thought that during this break, Uncontrollables weren't going to be as warmed up compared to Disability, who just came off of a win. And here we have a 7-0, which is the biggest lead Uncontrollables have had.
Yeah, all day. And they're getting right into this next one. They said, you guys, you know, you don't need to talk. We'll let the gameplay speak for itself as we are right into game number 2 of this grand final. Solitude fighting underneath net against both members of Uncontrollables, trying desperately to get this clear. It's a good little attempt from Fitz there. You have Ashley wrapping back around, but with this Disbel possession, he's going to try to get back on defense, but Disbel with a great shot on that upper corner. Going to be able to get on the board first for Disability.
And Disbel has so much coverage on him. Fitz just a second behind to go for a demo or a bump. And that's a quick counterattack. Disability, decent defense. Disbel, an amazing save there. But what was even better is how Disability reacted. Because before, in the last series, they were putting up saves, but were just stuck on that orange end, not able to do anything but take shots from Uncontrollables, which eventually that's going to bleed over. But Disability find the gap, that small lane that they can take advantage of. Uncontrollables find themselves on defense. Disbel with the challenge that goes to the corner, and the demo 2-on-1 for Disability. Solitude will ramp things up as Ashley takes the ball away. It's a clear, but Disability are too far forward. Very good bump by Solitude to slow down that play.
Yeah, really nice play from Solitude there on that rotation on defense, trying to slow the Uncontrollables down, but now Ashley is up with this one. Can he get it by Solitude? And Disbel has the reset, but Disbel there for the save will force Uncontrollables to reset. Fitz again going for a shot. Disbel is able to gain possession here, but Ashley sneaks this one away. Nice job by Solitude on defense to stop that one before things got a little ugly with that 2-on-1. This might allow Disbel an opportunity here. Has to get it by Fitz, but is going to back up off of this play, realizing he's got 2 defenders right in front of him. This one's going to be a tough 50 right at the midfield line.
Okay, Disbel barely able to hold on to the ball. Ashley spots the challenge, pops it above. Second shot not on target, but the threat is there. And you see Disbel needing to remove those threatening players, giving him the ball. Knows the defenders are in the net. Tries to tuck it to the left side to draw them out. Wants to connect that pass to Solitude. Ashley punishes the open net for the equalizer. 1-1.
Man, great job from Ashley there. Really great job to all 4 players out there kind of battling through that physical play. But of course, it's Ashley coming out on top with that tying goal. Well played to him, but I gotta say, Disability, an amazing bounce back, going from 7-0, you know, prior to regulation ending, to keeping it at 1-1 as we near the halfway mark of the second game. But oof, a great aerial carry, aerial dribble from Fitz is gonna allow the Uncontrollables to take the lead.
Oh, Solitude just too low on the challenge, but the way Fitz soared down, nose down on the ball to get below the defender that was in the net. There's layers to Disability, and Uncontrollables keep peeling back every single one. It was a lead that Disability had, but now lost. Just kind of reminiscent of the last series where there was one game Disability had 2-0 and Uncontrollables not only came back, but crushed them in the second half. And history may be repeating itself. Uncontrollables only up by 1. Fighting, having the ball. Ashley above. Second touch misses. And Fitz not there to follow up.
And here we see Disability trying to battle back. The Uncontrollables still able to maintain possession. A reset there, but Fitz is going to go underneath this one. If Disability can recover, it could be a big opportunity for them to get this tying goal. Unfortunately, Fitz was able to rotate back on defense in time to at least slow down that offense from Disability. Doesn't have any boost, is able to pick up a small little tank as Ashley now is taking this one from midfield, but a great jump from Solitude is going to be able to knock that one away.
All right, pressure mounting for Uncontrollables, but better defense from Disability. Sitting there kind of watching. I like that Disball's getting on top of this ball more. He's leading that charge for Disability. Ashley has to be ready. Disability just trying to force their way through to the net, but Uncontrollables, they've built that wall, and it's sustaining. But for how long? We got a minute 20. Fitz gliding through the midfield, stopped halfway. Play is slowed. Uncontrollables still working on it. 40 boosts or less. Ashley, flip reset, but an early challenge kind of shakes up that possession.
Shaking things up indeed, keeping this one close as we just hit under a minute left to play here in our second match of the grand final. Can Disability find a way to tie up the series score? Need to find that tying goal first, and the Uncontrollables continue to apply that offensive pressure.
Oh,
so
Ashley,
look to rotate here, but Ashley, with the quickness, is able to dive onto that ball, gets one touch off the wall, rotates back, and finds the shot to himself. Great play by Ashley.
Diz was so close to the clear, got dunked on again. He's thinking back to how that last series went. And Uncontrollables, they pulled that off many times. Ashley, flip reset, Disball just has Ashley's number, stopping these crazy shots. Here's the counterattack. Solitude chasing Ashley around. Double demo. Free ball. Disability too slow to the punch. Solitude has to turn the ball around. Ashley spawns right back into the net. First save. Disball. Good control. Last 10 seconds. This next goal needs to go through, or else it's just not going to be the case. This goes towards the net, saved yet again, but it's Uncontrollables who take game 2.
Yeah, and not as easy as game number 1, to Disability's credit, but still some amazing play that we saw from both Fitz and Ashley there, and you can see both equally on defense. More saves, to be fair, having to come through for the Uncontrollables, so an indication that Disability was able to at least maintain possession a little bit longer, kind of get involved more on the offensive end, but just couldn't find those tying goals that they needed in those final moments.
Yeah, 8 shots to 7. Both offenses were kicking, but it was whose defense was better at the end of the day. And the fact that Disability, they went from losing 7-0 to just being competitive throughout that. That was a really entertaining game. Our final is getting better.
And I think they're getting right back into this next. I love it. Keep the pace up. Let's keep things going. Disability continues to try to battle back here against the Uncontrollables. Will this be the start of the Disability comeback, or will the Uncontrollables close it out here? Ashley going for the double tap off that backboard. Fitz has the touch. He's going to carry this one into the orange corner, but the Disball demo coming through to slow down the Uncontrollables. This one floating towards the purple net, but Fitz going to be able to spawn back in and get the clear.
And Disball being more aware of that second man back, that makes sure that if Uncontrollables get this long clear, it's not going to be the open net that Uncontrollables capitalized on so many times in this series. Good stop by Solitude. As Disball, the first one to attack the ball always for Disability. This goes to the purple corner. Ashley getting this away from that challenge. Reset. Can they center it out? The ground pitch right to Disball, who just had to be ready. Fitz bringing it back. Solitude, that second layer on the defense. Stop after stop. Disability can breathe.
Yeah, beautiful pinch by the Uncontrollables, and an equally beautiful save by Disability there, but Ashley continues the offensive onslaught. Fitz now able to recover this one from the corner, but it'll be a challenge against Disbel off that back wall. This one will drop into the hands of Ashley yet again. You see Solitude rotating, trying to maintain his defensive position, but it's going to be Ashley finding another immaculate angle.
It's one thing to get a double tap off the back wall. It's another thing to do it from these left and right corners. That's a difficult shot. Ashley continues to impress me as one of my favorite players to watch in this whole tournament. And on disability, have to keep their eyes on them to the back wall, but Ashley a little bit too far forward, falling back for boost. This is a time for disability to strike back. Look for that equalizer, bumped off the play. This almost floated into the net.
Yeah, great angle there from Disbel, but Fitz just putting himself in the perfect position to get that save. He'll transition that into an offensive play. Ashley up yet again, and a great recovery from Disbel to get that clear downfield. Try to set up some offense of their own. Fortunately, both members of Uncontrollables able to quickly rotate back. For that initial play, now Solitude has to rotate back, help his teammate out, but it's going to be Ashley and Disbel in the 1v1 with Ashley coming out on top.
Yeah, Disbel has been playing well so far, goes for boost, doesn't know how to just attempted the backflip, but just the amount of power that Ashley brought with the ball, backflip or not, there was just no stopping that. But like I said, Disbel has been playing so well to put up the amount of saves that he has, and Solitude couldn't protect the back wall enough, and Ashley scores again.
Yeah, disability starting to feel like they're unraveling here a little bit with those two goals, but really it's just the Uncontrollables of finding these beautiful angles to secure those shots on net. So no fault to disability, have been doing a great job on the defensive side. It's really just the Uncontrollables hitting some fantastic shots.
Just when Ashley didn't have enough speed, the control of the ball to go for the ground pinch, starting from the left. And there's the ground pinch, and the amount of power that that generated and the placement to the right side is not something that Disbel could keep up with, no matter how good he's playing.
Yeah. Disbel putting himself in a good position there, but really it's just Ashley kind of performing at an insane degree right now that's allowing them to continue to extend the lead to what is now 4-0 in favor of the Uncontrollables. Solitude trying to get the jump up there on Ashley, slow him down in any way that he can. And we'll have to see if Disbel has some tricks up his sleeve, has the pass over to Solitude, but it's Fitz once again in a great defensive position to get that save.
I like the attempt at the flip reset, Ashley doing the same thing, and Fitz set up to take the shot. Disbel aware. Great reads and predictions. Solitude chasing someone into the net for the bump, but Ashley came out so quickly. Able to dodge that and get the save is incredible. And the counterattack is disgusting.
Yeah. Ashley just really showing us his entire repertoire right now between flip resets, ground pinches, and alley-oops to himself off the backboard. At this point in time, it feels like what can't Ashley do, as the Uncontrollables are closing in on another 7-0 victory. And Ashley putting on a show right now, an absolute human highlight reel, as Ashley is going to get another goal on the board.
Double flip reset, and then you dribble it to the top end of the net. My jaw's on the floor. If it already wasn't, it's all the way down now. 6-0, looking for the mercy goal to be the Grand Finals champions and go #1 seed in pool play. Uncontrollables putting on a show. Double tap, saved in the bottom left by Disbel.
Yep, disability just looking to get something on the board, or at least slow down Uncontrollables, but their offense has just been impeccable here in this third game of the series. Disbel tries to get a shot on net, but both members of the purple team have already rotated back on defense, and now it's Ashley with the pass over to Fitz, but it's a great rotation and save by Disbel. Solitude now also waiting in the wings, trying to keep this one on that Uncontrollable side, but it's going to rotate back. Fitz is now up for it, going to send this one into the opposite corner where Ashley has that rotation. little bit too much on that one is going to force them to rotate back onto defense. Ashley, though, has the demo onto Dismal, and now Ashley's up for it yet again.
Oh, the double tap denied. Dismal, as soon as they respawn, they were back. They have the ball. What a fantastic touch by Fitz to deny that shot. As Disability still haven't scored once, and it's not through not having a threatening offense. Dismal is going for flip resets, is going for double taps, but these second touches aren't connecting, and he can't do it all on his own. Uncontrollables are such a dangerous team to play up against. Solitude, it's a great touch to that left wall. Disability not finding the rebound. Disability going just at least for the one goal. They'll get it. Maybe Brazil for our last game. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, you know, and this is kind of just how this series has gone, right? Disability not necessarily making any mistakes. It's just the uncontrollables really showing off that mechanical difference right now in that solo play, in those 1v1s. And I think Disability needs to rely on that teamwork aspect a little bit more here. Like you mentioned, it can't be Dismal doing all that work. We've seen both of these players, though, Solitude getting involved, but it's the power of two that needs to unite them there, as that ball will touch down. They won't get the 7-goal victory, but it'll be 6-1 in favor of the Uncontrollables as they win today's grand final.
Congratulations, Uncontrollables. Not dropping a game in these two matches we saw. They are incredible. That's all we have to do is sit back and talk about how good they are at the game. I don't even see these mechanics be consistently put on at the RLCS level, at the CRL level.
Yeah.
Double flip resets, cookster pinches, ground pinches, double taps. Like, they're going through the grocery list of mechanics that you can pull off, and they execute it almost 90% of the time. And I'm seeing Dismal go for those attempts. And I see the potential there. Yeah. And I think they could have generated more goals based off of that. But I'd like, Dismal plays at an A+ level, and it's the S+ that's stopping them from going to OT.
Yeah,
you know?
and really, you know, throughout the three teams that we've seen, both in the summer kickoff, because they were the same rosters, and here today, it is kind of like that, you know, S+, A level. Yeah. They're all right there, but there's those small little differences that are kind of setting them one step above each other. I think in that upper bracket final that we saw from Disability, they made the changes that they needed to in Game 1 and Game 2, but I think because they lost both of those, a little bit of frustration started to seep in, and then we started to see things like the team bumps, a little bit of miscommunication, because they had the right game plan going in to kind of battle against the Uncontrollables. But it's such a tough battle to go up against again and again in what has now been 6 games on the day. So for that to start to unravel a little bit at the end, you can't really blame them. But I loved what I saw early on from Disability going up against that. I think, you know, from now this qualifier to the next in that pool play, they're going to be able to refine that a little bit. And if I was the Uncontrollables, I'd want to continue to stay that one step ahead, because we definitely saw the potential out of Disability to start taking those games off of them.
Yeah, it's gone. The gap between both of those teams, who are I think, our best teams that I've seen at least so far in our AET league, they're going to meet again in pool play, and this is going to be a rivalry that's going to develop over the months, where the level up that Disability did from the summer kickoff, which feels like an eternity ago, to now, we're still in the summer, but they're going to meet again and again, and I wonder if the script is going to stay the same. Right. How close can Disability get, or will they always remain in that shadow of Uncontrollables? And what new talent will present themselves? Because you at home, if you want to be part of this league, you can go and sign up, be part of our qualifiers, and maybe be our next Uncontrollables.
Yeah, and that's, you know, kind of the way we've structured it this season, where in the previous season there was either like a point structure and that sort of thing, so you were incentivized to join in early. But as we want to expand this league and kind of expand the talent pool, these are kind of, you move into pool play. So we'll touch on that format again real quick before we send it off until July. But again, you know, standard 2v2, that 7-goal limit, the double elimination, but the top 2 teams move on to pool play. So if you were to even join in August, but you think that you are one of the top 2 teams, you'd then be able to qualify for that season finals tournament and prizing. There isn't necessarily a negative to joining in later, but you do have to prove your worth through that open bracket against all the other teams. So yeah, once again, AET.gg if you're interested, if you want to apply, if you think you have what it takes to battle against the uncontrollables, the disabilities, or the juicy rides. We would love to see that. And again, that next qualifier number 2, is going to be happening on July 1st and 2nd. So head on over to AET.gg to apply, find out more, support our partners. But from myself on the desk and Lemon Kiwi, that is going to do it here for qualifier number 1 of our Adaptive Esports Tournaments season. We'll see you all next time. Peace.